Welcome to Sleep Story. Let the soothing cadence of a story weave through your consciousness, lulling your body to rest and your mind to tranquility as you drift into dreams on the wings of imagination.
But Kuai Liang said, "Now Sun Jian has lost, his son are young." Taking advantage of this time of weakness, the rapid march, Jiangdong can be obtained in a drum. If you return the body to stop the army, allow it to develop its strength, Jinju's trouble, Table said, "I have Wang Zu in his camp, really bear to abandon it." Liang said, "Shed a scheming Wang Zu and take Jiangdong, what is not?" Liang said, "I am a bosom friend of Wang Zu. It is not righteous to give up." So he sent Wanju back to the camp and promised to exchange Sun Jian's corpse for Wang Zu. Sun Ce exchanged Wang Zu's body for his own, greeted the coffin, and returned to Jiangdong after the war, burying his father in the plain of Ka. After the funeral, he led his troops to the city, where they were buried. Funeral affairs have been completed, led the army to live in Jiangdu, recruiting and treating people, the four sides of the great and powerful, gradually cast, not in the next sentence. But Dong Juo in Chang'an heard Sun Jian is dead, said, "I got rid of a heart of trouble also," asked, "How old is his son?" Or answered that 17 years old. Juo then did not think. Since then the more arrogant called himself Shang Father, in and out of the illegal Prince of Heaven ceremonial, sealed his brother Dongmin for the left general, Shuang Ho, nephew Donghuan, for the service of the general leader of the Forbidden's army. Dong's clan, regardless of the age, are all feudal lords. 250 miles away from Chang'an city, he built a separate ancient place, which was constructed by 250,000 people. The height and thickness of the citadel were just like Chang'an city, and inside the citadel there were palaces and warehouses with 20 years of grain. 800 young beauties were chosen to live in the citadel, and there were countless piles of gold and jade, colorful silks and pearls, and their families were all living in the citadel. Juo traveled to An from Chang'an, or half a month back, or a month back. The ministers are waiting to send at the cross gate. Juo standing tent in the road, and the ministers gather drink. One day, Juo out of the horizontal gate. All the officials are sent. Juo stayed at the banquet, suitable for the north of the hundreds of people who recruited the surrendered pawns to arrive. Juo is ordered in front of the seat, or cut off their hands and feet, or chisel their eyes, or cut their tongues, or boil them in a cauldron. The sound of wailing, hundreds of officials shuddered and lost their chopsticks. Juo food and drink, talk and laugh. Another day, Juo in the provincial platform assembly, 100 officials, sitting into rows. Wine to a few rounds, LV Bu into Juo ears, not a few words, Juo said with a smile. So, order LV Bu at the feast pulled the Sekung Zhong, went down the hall. Hundreds of officials lost color. Not long after, the attendant will be a red disc, the head of Zhong went into the offering. 100 officials soul. Juo laughed and said, "Do not be alarmed. Zhong when linked to Yuan Shu, want to harm me, because of the people to send a book, the wrong place in my son Feng Xin. Therefore, the beheading, gong and so on no reason. Do not need to be afraid. All the officials only and dispersed. Situ Wang Yun returned to the house, thinking about today's seat between things, fidgety. To the late night moonlight, the staff into the back garden, standing on the side of the graceful area frame, looking up to the sky and weeping. Suddenly, he heard that someone was sighing at the Peony Pavilion. Yun snuck in and peeped at them, and they were Daokan, a kabuki in the mansion. Her daughter had entered the mansion since she was young and was taught to sing and dance. She was 2 or 8 years old, and her color was good, so Yun treated her as his own daughter. That night, Yun listened for a long time and said, "Bitch will have a private affair." Dao Chan was shocked and knelt down and replied, "I dare not have any private affair." Yun said, "You do not have any personal interests. Why are you sighing here late at night?" Cicada said, "Allow the concubine to stretch the words from the bottom of my heart." Yun said, "You do not hide when the truth to tell me." Cicada said, "I am grateful to you for your kindness and support, training songs and dances, and treating you with respect. Although I am broken to pieces, I can't repay you enough. Recently, I saw you 2 eyebrows locked. There must be state affairs, and do not dare to ask. Tonight, I saw that you are not sitting still, so I sighed long and hard. I don't want you to see it. If there is anything I can do for you, I will die for it." Yun hit the ground with his staff and said, "Who would have thought that the whole world is in your hands? Come with me to the pavilion." Dao Chan and Yun to the pavilion. Yun all scolded out of the women and concubines, Dao Chan in the seat, bowing to worship. Dao Chan was shocked to the ground and said, "Why did you do this?" Yun said, "You poor Han world life. Words, tears like springs." Dao Chan said, "In the meantime, my concubine had said, but there is an order, 10,000 deaths." Yun kneeled and said, "The people have the danger of hanging down. The king and the ministers have the emergency of the eggs. Not you cannot save also. Dong Juo, the thief, will want to usurp the throne. In the civil and military, there is nothing to do. Dong Juo has a righteous son, surnamed Du, named Bu, prima donna. I think both of them are lustful men, so I want to use a chain plan to marry you to LV Bu first, and then offer you to Dong Juo. You can take advantage of it to spy on his father and son, so that Bu can kill Juo, in order to end the evil, re-support the countryside, and then establish the kingdom. All your strength. I do not know what you think." Daokan said, "Concubine sue adult 10,000 deaths. Hope that the offer concubine with him. I have my own reasons." Yun said, "If the matter is leaked, I destroy the door." Daokan said, "Don't worry, my lord. If I do not report the righteousness of the concubine, I will die under 10,000 blades. Yun, thank you." The next day, the family will hide several pearls, make good craftsman embedded gold crown atop, so that people secretly sent Lu Bu. Bu was so happy that he went to Wang Yun's house to thank him. Yun prepared delicious food. Waiting for Lu Bu to arrive, Yun went out to welcome. Access to the back room, extended on the seat. "The first time I saw him," he said, "Lu Bu is a general of the Shangfu government, and Situ is a minister of the court. Why do you pay wrong respect to him?" Yun said, "Fang, today, there is no other hero but the general ear." Yun is not respecting the general's position, but the general's talent. The cloth is very happy. Yuan was very attentive to the toast, said Dong Taishi, and Bu's virtues are endless. Bu laughed and drank freely. Yuan rebuked the left and right, leaving only a few concubines to persuade wine. Wine to have healthy, Yuan said. Call the children too. In a few moments, the two green clothes lead Daokan and out of the colorful makeup. Bu asked in surprise who was there. Yuan said. Daughter Daokan also. Yuan Ming General Ronglove, not different from the closest relatives. So let it meet with the general. Then ordered Daokan and Lu Bu to hold a cup of wine. Dao Chen sent wine and cloth. The two of them were looking at each other. Yuan feigned drunkenness and said, Children central and generals drink a few cups. My family is relying on you. Bu invited Daokan to sit down. Daokan pretended to want to enter. Yuan said, General, my best friend, children will sit, why not? Daokan then sat on the side of Yuan. Lu Bu was not able to take his eyes off of it. Drink a few more cups. Yuan pointed to Cicada, said cloth. I want to send this woman to the general as a concubine, still willing to accept it. Bu attended the thank you, said, If so, Bu will be the dog and horse of the reward. Yuan said, Choose a good day in the morning and evening, and send it to your house. Cloth happy and limited, frequently to Daokan. Daokan also sent love with autumn waves. A few moments after the seat dispersed, Yuan said, I would like to stay in the general to stop the night, afraid of the Taishai seed out. Bu thanked again and left. After a few days, Yuan in the hall, see Dongjuo, while Lu Bu is not on the side, crouching on the ground to worship, please, said. Yuan want to bend to mastercar ride, to the grass to the banquet, not interrogate the intention of Jun Hao. Duo said, Stuart C recruiting. That is when 10 to go. Yuan thanks to return home. Water and land are set up in the front hall in the middle of the seat, brocade floor, inside and outside of the curtains. The next day at noon, Dongjuo came. Yuan with court dress to meet, and then worshipped to get up. Duo got out of the car. Around the halberd-wielding armored soldiers, more than 100, clustered into the hall, divided into two sides. The two sides of the hall were surrounded by more than 100 men with halberds. When Yuan bowed again under the hall, Duo ordered him to help him up and gave him a seat on the side. Yuan said, The great master of the lofty virtue, Yi, Zhou cannot, and also, Duo great joy. The first time I saw him, I was so happy to see him, and I was so happy to see him. The day evening wine is sound, Yuan invited Duo into the back of the hall. Duo shouted back to the armor. Yuan goblet of congratulations, said. Yuan since childhood quite learnt astronomy. Night observation of the Cheongseong, the Han family gas number has been exhausted. The great master's merit and virtue in the world, as Shun's acceptance of Yu's successor Shun, is in line with the heart of heaven and the will of man. Duo said, I dare not hope so, Yuan said. Since ancient times, the way of the road to cut down the no way, no virtue to let the virtue, is not too much. Duo laughed and said, If the fate of heaven returns to me, Situ should be the Yuangsun. Yuan thanked him. The whole light on the painting candle. Stop leaving the woman to make wine for food. Yuan said, The music of the workshop, not enough to offer. Occasional home play, dare to make commitments. Duo said, Very good. Yuan taught to put down a curtain bar, Sheng Ri dazzling, plus to holding the sable cicada dance outside the curtain. There are words of praise said. Originally Jiaoyong Palace people, the stunning spring just like the palm of the body, only suspected of flying through the cave spring. According to the Liangzhou lotus step steady, good flower wind curls a branch of new, painting the warmth of the whole incense, does not win the spring. Another poem says, red teeth urged the swallows to fly busy, a piece of traveling clouds to the hall of painting. The eyebrows contribute to the hatred of the wanderer, and the face breaks the bowels of the deceased. The old money does not buy 1,000 gold smiles. The willow belt does not need 100 treasures of makeup. After the dance, I stole my eyes through the curtains, not knowing who is the king of Xiong of Chu. After the dance, Zhuo ordered her to come forward. Dao Chen turned into the curtain and bowed deeply again. Zhuo saw the beautiful color of Daoken and asked, "Who is this woman?" Yuan said, "The Kabuki Daoken also," Zhuo said. "Can you sing?" Yuan ordered Daoken to hold the sandalwood board Lo Yuji a song. It is a little cherry to start the reddish red lips, 2 lines of broken jade spray Yongzhen, clove tongue spit steel sword to cut off the treacherous and evil ministers of chaos. Zhuo praised and appreciated. Yuan ordered Daoken to put the lamp. Zhuo asked, "Youth geometry?" Daoken said, "My concubine is 28 years old." Zhuo laughed and said, "Really fairy people also." Yuan rose and said, "Yuan would like to offer this woman to the master. I do not know if you are willing to accept it." Zhuo said, "This is a favor. How can I repay you?" Yuan said, "This girl can serve the master. Her happiness is not shallow." Zhuo thanked him again and again. Yuan immediately ordered the preparation of Felkar, the first Daoken sent to the minister's residence. Zhuo also got up to say goodbye. The first time I saw him was when he was in the house of the minister, and then he left. Ride the horse and traveling, less than halfway, only to see 2 rows of red lights illuminating the road. Lu Bu rode his horse with a halberd and cane, is with Wang Yun bumped into, then strangled the horse, grabbed the lapel. Asked sternly, "Sito Bo's sable cicada promised me, and now sent to the master, what phase of the play?" Young quickly stopped it, said, "This is not the place to talk, and please go to the grass house to go." The cloth with Yuan to the home, dismounted into the back of the hall. After the ceremony, Yuan said, "Why does the general blame me?" Bu said, "Someone reported to me that you sent Daoken to the minister's residence in a felt car. What is the reason for this?" Yuan said, "General originally do not know. Yesterday, in the courtroom, the great master said to me, 'I have a matter, tomorrow to your home.' The general said, 'I don't know.' In the middle of the banquet, he said, 'I heard that you have a daughter named Daoken, who has promised my son Feng Yi. I am afraid that your words have not been honored, so I have come here to ask you to meet me.' The old man did not dare to disobey, and then led Daoken out to pay homage to the eunuch. The master said, 'Today is a good day. I will take this girl back and match her with Feng Yi.' General tried to think, the great master in person. How dare I push back? Bu said, 'Situ less offense. Bu was wrong for a moment, and I will take the blame for it in the coming day.' Yuan said, 'My daughter has a trousseau, and I will send it to you when I pass the general's residence.' Bu thanked him. The next day, Lu Bu in the residence to inquire, never heard the news. He went into the hall and asked the concubines. Concubines said, "The night the master and newcomers to bed together has not yet risen." Bu was furious, sneaked into the back of Duo's bedroom and peeked. Dao Chang got up under the window to comb her hair, and suddenly saw a figure shining in the pool outside the window, extremely large, wearing a crown of hair. Peeping out, it was Lu Bu. Dao Chang therefore knit his eyebrows, due sad and unhappy attitude, but also to incense Luo frequently wiped tears. Lu Bu peeped for a long time, is out. A few moments, and into. Duo himself sitting in the middle of the hall, "See cloth to come?" asked. "Nothing outside." Bu said. "Nothing." Serving Duo side. Duo square food, cloth peeping. See the embroidered curtains, within a woman too, and from the view. Slightly exposed half face, to the eye to send love. Bu knows that it is Daokan, the spirit of wandering. Duo see cloth so light, the heart of suspicion, said. Feng first nothing and retreat, Bu and out. Dong Duo, since the Daokan, for the color of the fascinated, more than a month not out of the council. Duo occasionally contracted a small disease, Daokan close, meet and greet, Duo heart more and more happy. Lu Bu entered the room to greet him, just as Duo was sleeping. Dao Chun looked at Bu from the back of the bed, pointed her finger at his heart, and then at Dong Duo, waving her tears. The heart of Bu was as broken as the heart of Duo. Duo hazy eyes, see cloth staring at the back of the bed, cannot stop staring. Turn around and look, see Daokan standing behind the bed. Duo was furious, scolded cloth said, "You dare to play my love Ji. Called the left and right expelled, not allowed to enter the hall in the future." Lu Bu angry hate and return. Metly are you, told him the reason. Are you rush in to see Duo said. The master wants to take the world, why the small faults to blame when ho? If their hearts change, the big thing is gone, Duo said. How? Are you said, come to the court call into, give gold and silk, good words of comfort, natural nothing. Duo followed the advice. The next day, so that people call cloth into the hall, comfort, said, I was sick the day before yesterday, the mind in a trance, the wrong words hurt you do not remember the heart. With the gift of gold 10 pounds, 20 pieces of brocade. Both thanked the return, but although the body in the duo left and right, Duo has recovered from his illness and entered the court to discuss the matter. While holding a halberd to follow, see Duo and Emperor Xion talk together. Will take the time to carry the halberd out of the inner door, mounted on a horse, and cast the phase of the house to come. Tie the horse in front of the house, carry the halberd into the back of the hall, looking for Daokan. Cicada said, you can go to the back garden Feng Yi Pavilion and so on me. The cloth lifts the halberd path too, standing in the pavilion under the curved fence of the evening. A long time, see Daokan flowers and willow, really like the Moon Palace fairy, sobbing said cloth. Although I am not Wang Situ's own daughter, but treat it as their own. Since I saw the general, I promised to serve the broom. Concubine has been life-wish enough. Who would like to think that the master of the bad heart, the concubine obscene, I hate not instant death, but because not with the general a farewell, so and endure humiliation to live. Now I am lucky to see you. I wish to be done. This body has been tainted. I can't serve heroes again. I wish to die in front of you, so as to make my wish clear. After saying this, she climbed the curved fence and jumped into the lotus pond. Lu Bu hurriedly embraced, sobbing, I know your heart for a long time. I just hate that we cannot talk together. Diao Can Han Paul Cloth said, concubine cannot be with you as a wife in this life. Would like to meet in the next life. Bu said, I cannot be your wife in this life, not a hero. Cicada said, my days are like yours. I hope you will have mercy and save me. Cloth said, I came here in the air. I fear that the old thief sees suspicion. Must go quickly. Cicada held his clothes and said, June's so afraid of the old thief. My concubine will not see the light of day. The cloth stood and said, let me try to find a good plan. At the end of the sentence, the halberd wants to go. Diao Can said, concubine in the boudoir, heard the general's name, like thunder, thought the world only one person, who wants to be subject to the control of others. Words, tears like rain. Cloth ashamed face, repeat leaning halberd, back to embrace Diao Can, with good words of comfort. To snugly leaning, cannot bear to leave each other. But Dong Zhuo in the temple, turned back to see Lu Bu, the heart of doubt, hastily resigned the dedication of the emperor, boarded the car back to the house. See the cloth horse tied in front of the house? Asked the doorkeeper. The official replied, when ho into the back of the hall to go. Zhuo scolded back around, into the back of the hall, looking for missing, called Diao Can. Cicada also disappeared. Urgently asked the concubine. The concubine said, Diao Can in the back garden to see flowers. Zhuo search into the back garden, is to see Lu Bu, and Dao Chan in the Feng Yi Pavilion under the common language, the halberd leaning on one side. Zhuo anger, shouted. When Bu saw Zhuo arrive, he was so shocked that he turned back and left. Zhuo grabbed the halberd and rushed towards him. Leave Bu walked fast. Zhuo could not catch up with the obesity, and threw his halberd to stab Bu. Lu Bu hit the halberd and landed on the ground. Zhuo picked up the halberd and rushed again. Cloth has gone far away. Zhuo rushed out of the garden gate. A man ran forward, and Zhuo chest collision. Zhuo fell to the ground. It is exactly the same. The anger in the sky was 1,000 feet high, and the fat body on the ground became a pile. I don't know who this person is. Let's listen to the following explanation.